right. BFOD squad. Here we are. Episode 51. Today I have a guest. I have two guests. You've heard one of them before. His name's Ian.
What's up, BFOD squad?
And he is fantastic. And we have my grandson Logan here with us.
Hey.
He's gonna provide the soundtrack, the laugh track, of course, I think. Okay, so beautiful day in Colorado. We've had a mild winter, haven't we?
We've had a very mild winter with not a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Which, from talking with all the farmers, is not a good thing.
Really?
But as far as being outside, it's a great thing.
It is.
But yeah, it's been like 50s and 60s and sunny.
It's 61 degrees right now.
It feels great.
You'd never know it was February
No.
in Colorado.
Especially compared to last winter, it was a lot.
I heard last winter was rough. Logan was telling me about that. So it's sunny and it's warm and it feels so good out. I think I'll leave it out.
Not in front of the fans.
Not in front of the fan. Okay, so this is episode 51. Next week is 52, which means the end of season 1.
Wow.
Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it?
What do you think about the number 51?
What do I think about 51?
As a number, yeah.
Oh, I guess I haven't thought about it.
I kind of like it because it's divisible by 17, which is crazy to think about.
That's true. You'd think it would be a prime number.
Exactly.
But 3 times 17 is 51.
It just seems like a good number. And it's like 1 over halfway, you know?
That's true.
So I get good energy for 51.
Okay.
I just want to put that out there.
So we got some good energy. Episode 51. A couple of weeks we'll be in season 2, episode 101. And I'm not sure yet if the format's going to stay the same. I guess everybody's enjoying it.
Yeah.
Leave it as it is. I don't know. I'll come up with some kind of funky ass shit, I'm sure.
It's the name of the game.
Okay, so this is the place where we talk about music, movies, and we try to provide a little bit of mirth via the funky ass shit that I come up with.
I learned some stuff listening to this podcast.
Listening to what?
This podcast.
You learn stuff from this podcast?
Yeah. Some words.
That amazes
some
me.
Some facts.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Don't ask me to recite them, but I've learned it.
Okay, so last week I asked you a mystery lyric, and it was, "I'm so tired of being lonely, I still have some love to give." And if you'd listened to the playlist, you would know that that was the Traveling Wilburys with Roy Orbison on vocals. Okay. I'm sure you all knew that one anyway. Now I've got a mystery movie quote for you. To make soap, first we render fat.
To make soap, first we render fat.
To make soap, first we render fat.
Seems ominous. What?
That's a movie line.
Yeah.
And I usually don't give it away, but you guys want to know what it is?
Can I get a hint first?
Brad Pitt.
What decade?
80s, mid 80s, early 90s.
Brad Pitt, early 90s.
Brad Pitt, Edward Norton.
That's not 7.
They make soap.
I don't know. I give up.
Oh, come on.
Fight Club?
Fight Club. That's right. What a classic movie.
I haven't seen that in forever. I need to rewatch that.
I have yet to discuss that one.
That should be episode 1 of season 2.
It could be.
That seems like a strong start.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about music. Ian and I both own the vinyl album Asia by Steely Dan. And It's always been one of my favorites. I was alive and an older teenager when it came out. I was in the U.S. Air Force.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was 1977.
What was that your first exposure to Steely Dan, or were you?
Well, I knew their previous hits.
Yeah.
From Can't Buy a Thrill,
Mhm.
Reeling in the Years, and Dirty Work. So I knew of that.
Yeah.
When Asia came out, there were like 4 hits on the radio constantly. And I bought the album, and it's very jazzy,
Uh-huh.
great music, but we'll get into that a little later. I want to know, though, so I know that Logan's first exposure to Steely Dan was about 2 hours ago. When I picked him up in my truck and I put that album Asia on, and we had a good 30 minutes to listen to most of it.
To Asia?
Yeah. So, what was your first experience with the album Asia or Steely Dan?
First experience with Steely Dan was hearing the hits on the radio, Reeling in the Years. I guess Don't Lose That Number. But Reeling in the Years, I always thought he said Reeling in the East when I was a kid. And
Reeling in the East?
it doesn't make any sense, but that's what I thought he said. Are you reeling in the East? Like he's fishing in the East or something? I had no idea. But no, it was mostly just the hits that they played on.
Yeah.
I mentioned it last episode, but 96 won The Rock, classic rock radio station on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
And then in college, one of my good friends, Zach, he likes Steely Dan a lot, and he put me on to Asia.
Yeah.
And then I listened to that. I hadn't listened to a lot of stuff in the middle or after that, which I did kind of in preparation for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, very interesting progression as a band. You know, a lot of history that we'll probably get into about how they went from their first album, which is really good.
Yeah, Can't Buy a Thrill.
Yes, Can't Buy a Thrill for a debut record. Obviously, they both the remaining members of the band, have a lot of talent. That goes without saying. But yeah, that was my first experience.
I remember 2 years ago, you and Mariah and Henry and Zach came to Kansas en route to Colorado. And you spent the night with us. And I put on the album Asia. You picked it up and showed it to Henry. And I put it on, and the first song that plays is Black Cow. And Henry and Zach started bobbing their head and dancing to it. Right?
Yeah. I feel like Steely Dan has this, like, it's not a cult following, but they're a very well respected band for people who are music nerds, you know?
That's true. And one reason for that is they are perfectionists. Okay. So there's 2 main members of Steely Dan. They formed in 1971 in Annandale, New York. And the founding members were Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. And Fagen does keyboards and vocals, and Becker does guitar and backing. It's funny, I read that, or I heard that Donald Fagen had yet to meet Walter Becker. He was walking down the street one day, and there was this club, and there was a guy inside playing the guitar. And Donald Fagen just stopped and listened to it. And he said it was so good, he actually thought it was a black guy playing the guitar.
Isn't that fun how, like, just think about how many bands were made that way back in the day.
Just fall together.
You just were in the same place at the same time.
Right.
I wonder how bands are made now. Probably a lot of internet. It's probably knowing people, and also, like, maybe Facebook. I don't know.
You know that there aren't that many bands anymore. It's a lot of solo artists these days. A lot of
very
reasons.
we're very niche.
Yeah.
There's not like rock and roll musical groups, but anyway.
So this is an interesting fact. They were attending Bard College in New York. Their original band name was Leather Canary.
Hmm.
And at that time, Chevy Chase was their drummer.
Which is awesome.
That is awesome. Do you know who Chevy Chase is, Luke?
No, I haven't.
He's an actor, comedy actor.
Oh, nice.
Started on Saturday Night Live.
You'd probably recognize him if you saw him.
You probably would.
And Chevy Chase probably maybe was hurt when he found out he was no longer part of the band. I don't know what happened, but if he only knew how many members of the band that they would end up having,
Yeah.
he probably would not be that heartbroken.
Now that's interesting. They moved to LA in 1971, started recording music, and they had a proper band.
Yep.
Like 5 or 6 guys.
Yes.
And they put out their first album, Can't Buy a Thrill, and they went on tour. And they made it through 2 years of that. Donald Fagen is very stage shy
Yep.
and shy with his vocals. And he refused to sing while they were touring. So they had to hire another vocalist to sing the songs.
Yeah.
After 2 years of touring, Donald Fagen says, fuck that. I'm done with touring. And they became a studio band.
Yeah.
And it was Walter Becker and Donald Fagen, and that's it. And
That's
they
it.
would hire studio musicians for the music.
That's one of the reasons why I really liked researching this band is that they did a lot of things that I respect a lot. They basically just did whatever they wanted as far as like I don't want to tour anymore, so we're not going to tour. I want to do all these crazy jazz instrumental things that my bandmates can't always play how I want them to. So we're just going to get rid of the band members and hire session musicians to do everything, which is just kind of a crazy way to think about a band.
It is, but like I said earlier, Donald Fagen especially was a perfectionist. And even with the studio musicians, sometimes he would have them play a track 40 times. 40 times, one track. And
It's a lot of horror stories about working with the both of them, recording with the both of them.
yeah.
How anal they were.
So their sound blends elements of rock, jazz, rhythm and blues, but they have a smooth, warm sound. I don't know what would be a better word to describe it. Just soothing.
Yeah, and the first album that we mentioned, "Can't Buy a Thrill," is that what it's called?
Yeah.
They kind of described that album as being dumbed down or easy, or they were trying to make an album that sounded like the time, like some of the music that was already being made,
Right.
and not exactly the sound that they wanted. And to me personally, that kind of fusion of like their perfectionism and sort of bossa nova and Latin and jazz mixed with that classic just like rock and roll sound is awesome.
Yeah.
Like the guitar work on what is the famous single?
Ricky, don't lose that number.
No, "Reelin' in the Years." Yeah,
Reelin'
the
in the
guitar
Years.
work on "Reelin' in the Years" is like some of the best guitar work of all their songs,
Yeah.
and I disagree with how they frame it as, oh, we made this kind of dumb, easy album. The people really liked it, and so we're not gonna do that anymore. We're gonna make our cool technical stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of magic in that first album.
I know Walter Becker, hell of a guitar player. But if you look at a picture of him, you're like, okay, this guy lives in his mom's basement.
Exactly.
Just smokes dope all the time.
They're music nerds, is what they are. Nothing wrong with that.
So they did. after they cut loose the band, no, wait a minute. They did 2 more albums before they broke up the band. Countdown to Ecstasy and Pretzel Logic. And Pretzel Logic has Ricky Don't Lose That Number.
Mhm.
And that was huge for them. That really vaulted them. And but it's at that point, after the release of that album, that's when they said, fuck it, it's just going to be us in the studio.
Mhm.
That's what they did. So, no more touring. And in 1975, they released the album Katie Lied. And in 1976, they released The Royal Scam. Neither of those albums produced a top charting hit.
Mhm.
It's too bad. There's some good songs on.
Yeah, there are. But they were in a little bit of a commercial slump, you could say.
And then comes the album Asia,
Mhm.
which we all know and love. My favorite by them. The hits Peg, Josie, Deacon Blues.
Love Deacon Blues. Mostly because they talk about Alabama, which is funny.
Yeah, they call Alabama the Crimson
I love that line. Call me Deacon Blues.
If you're going to sing, you need to get closer to the mic.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I'll save them from having to hear that.
So what is your favorite song on Asia?
I think it's probably Deacon Blues, but there are moments from other songs that I love, like the title track, the drum work on that song.
Asia.
Yeah, is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And then Peg has a lot of really great guitar work as well. But the whole thing is just really, you can tell that their efforts of trying to have a sound that sounds perfect and technical really shines on an album like this, where it is so. Um, not only does it sound technical and difficult to do, but it all just like fits into really well-made songs. That aren't just showcases of different drum patterns, but they're really beautiful songs.
And the songs they did not write them for the masses.
No.
They did their thing, and it just happened to be hit songs.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which one's your favorite?
my favorite, I really like Asia.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 7-minute song. It's got a lot of Asian type instruments and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we say the band name Asia, it's HAA. It's not ASIA. Just to let you guys know.
Do you know why that is? What the meaning of that is?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I was listening to that the song Asia. It sounded like he was talking about a person. Could be wrong.
Could be a person.
I heard it once.
It does. It's spelled kind of like a name would.
I mean, the album cover shows a faint female in Japanese garb.
Very cool album cover. Their album covers are not always very cool to me, but that one, awesome.
It's awesome. It's mostly black.
Yeah.
And you just see this image, and you don't see it directly. Your brain kind of tells you that's a woman wearing like some kind of sash or something.
Yeah.
Some kind of Japanese
yeah.
apparel.
I don't know exactly what it is either, but
I like Josie.
Yep. Good one.
Gonna break out the hats and hooters when Josie comes.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of lyrics that are very like sexual and satirical and like dark about women of the night, but also just the way that our world is kind of crazy sometimes, especially on that first album.
They don't make bubblegum lyrics. No. They put a lot of thought into their lyrics. Poetry type stuff. And over the next few years, they released a good album called Gaucho. And in 1978, MCA Records bought out their record label, ABC Records. For 2 years, they could not release an album because of legal issues.
Really?
Yes.
So 1980 was Gaucho. Is that right?
Yeah, let me look.
I think that was their-
78, they started working on Gaucho.
Okay.
But over the next 2 years, they had several misfortunes. One's the record label change. Walter Becker's girlfriend died of an overdose in a hotel room. He got sued for that.
He settled.
$17 million, but he settled.
I'm just trying to think of how someone could sue you. I don't know the details of it, but that would definitely take a turn on your mental health if that happened.
Then he's walking in New York, he gets hit by a taxi, and it crushes his leg, and he gets hospitalized for months.
Mhm.
And he's coordinating with Donald Fagen over the phone for the album Gaucho. Yeah. So it was finally released in 1980.
Yeah.
Major success.
Very good.
Two big hits, Hey 19, which I love, and Time Out of Mind. The song Time Out of Mind has guitarist Mark Knopfler playing. Do you know who that is?
Mark Knopfler. No idea who Mark Knopfler is.
He's the front man and the guitarist for Dire Straits.
Oh, wow. There's some guitar work on the Dire Straits.
That's some royalty there.
Yeah, I know they had a lot of legendary jazz musicians and session players all over their work that if you're really into that kind of music scene, those names mean a lot to you and they're very impressive. I'm not very familiar with, I know the Dire Straits, but there's a lot of other guitarists they work with and stuff, but a lot of very impressive musicians worked on these albums.
Have you heard the name Michael McDonald?
Yes, he is the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks, and he just won a Super Bowl.
That's true.
Are you talking about somebody else?
Yeah, you're right. Michael McDonald's the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, and they won the Super Bowl.
Congrats to you.
There's another Michael McDonald who was a vocalist for the Doobie Brothers.
Oh.
And he does a lot of backing vocals on Asia.
Really?
And he's got a very distinct voice. If you listen, you'll know it's him.
Yeah, I'll hear him. That reminds me of on their first album, they had, the member of the band that sung for Donald Fagen because he was too shy has one song on that album where he sings. It's called
Dirty Work, isn't it?
Yeah. Dirty Work.
Dirty Work.
And it's just a very unique sounding voice that is not actually meant for the.
I always thought it was Walter Becker singing it till I dug into it a little further.
Yeah, I didn't know who.
But it's the guy they had hired to sing on. Mm-hmm. Can't remember his name. Should have wrote it down. 2017, Walter Becker dies of cancer.
Very sad.
But Donald Fagen kind of kept the band going, as it were, doing some shows, little tours here and there. Mm-hmm. But all told, they released 9 studio albums, and 2 live albums, and 22 singles. Record sales are about 40 million.
I mean, if you look at their body of work just in the 70s alone, it's really impressive. As far as bands to compare them to, I don't feel like a lot of bands had their sound or style. There's not a lot of comparisons, but just as far as classic bands who had great bodies of work in the 70s, like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, all those. I mean, it's really an impressive body of work.
And just don't get that these days. It's just a lot of solo, primarily singing stars. Did you know this? Do you know who David Crosby is?
From Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
From Crosby, Stills, and Nash. That's right. he credits the album Asia with saving his life while he was struggling with his drug addiction.
I think you sent me that. That's
I
amazing.
think I did too. He stated that Steely Dan is his favorite band in the world, period.
Mm-hmm.
And he listened to Asia, mostly Deacon Blues.
I feel like, you know how people would say, like a certain basketball player is your favorite basketball player's favorite basketball player?
Yeah.
It's like Steely Dan is for musicians. Like musicians really respect the stuff that Steely Dan did. And like you said, it wasn't always made for the masses, but the people that really enjoyed it are diehard fans of it.
I agree with that.
And I also saw that, I don't know if it's true, but someone said Jimmy Page said his favorite guitar solo was on Reelin' in the Years.
Really?
Favorite guitar solo ever.
Really?
Which I think is
Man, that is
surprising.
That's
but
big.
that song
Jimmy
is really
Page.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so I have. Is there anything else you want to say about Steely Dan?
I guess just that, you know, it was a lot of fun doing research for this one because I wasn't super familiar with Steely Dan's history as much as I would like the last band we did was Radiohead, which I was very familiar with.
Yeah.
And I think in general, I have a lot of respect for what they did, but I think at times their sound can be a little bit lifeless or emotionless because of how technical it is, how precise it is. And I think that for some people it's not too big a deal, but for me, I always listen to it and I wish there's a little bit more of that. And I wanted to share one other thing with you. It's a really stupid, meaningless test that I put bands through, and I want to see what you think about it.
Okay.
So I have this imaginary situation in my head where I'm at like a party or gathering of people. And my test is if I put this band's discography on the speaker, is there any point where somebody's going to be like, what the hell are you playing? Like, this is weird. Can we change it to something else? And if I feel like that band doesn't have any music that meets that criteria, it's a little bit of a red flag for me.
Okay.
That they're not pushing certain boundaries or trying things that are different enough. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I feel like Steely Dan, it's all pretty pleasant to listen to. You know, it's all like technically challenging, but none of it is very like experimental or daring. What do you think about my fake criteria that I made up?
I like it. I'll say I have a tendency to listen to an artist that's new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I don't like it, but I'll go back and listen again. And I'm warming up to it. Go back and listen again, and I'm like, this is shit hot. I like this. So I'm not sure your test would equate with my way of listening to music. But
you're saying you wouldn't be like, turn this off, it's weird. You would say, it's not really for me, but I'm going to give it another shot.
Yeah.
Which I think is also, I think that would kind of pass the test of being.
Sure. That makes sense.
Being unpleasant at first.
Yeah, I wouldn't be repulsed by it.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, maybe, you know. Okay, I have yet to do it, but I will drop some of their hits on the numerous Barrel Full of Darrell playlist for you guys, and please enjoy. Now for a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. Well, hello there. This here's Jonathan Mordecai Turnipseed, but you can call me Sir. You may recall that I am the chief of police here in Scratch Ankle, Alabama. Well, today I have a public service announcement for the citizens of and the visitors to Scratch Ankle. Now, you all know that Ricky Ray Bubba likes to hunt, especially for squirrels and rabbits. Well, he was out in the woods a few days ago when a raccoon ran right at him, jumped up on his leg, and bit him real hard. Now, Ricky Ray, being Ricky Ray, he took hold of that raccoon and bit him back, right in the neck. Unfortunately, that raccoon was rabid, and now Ricky Ray is as well. Well, he didn't get no treatment, and when he started limping around and foaming at the mouth, we all knew he was a goner. So now he's in palliative care at the Monroeville Hospital. Yeah, funny but not funny. Knowing Ricky Ray, he must have bragged and told that story to a dozen people. But nobody thought about rabies. Well, they do now. The moral of this story is to stay away from raccoons. If one starts running at you, you just kick him real hard in the nose. But only if you're wearing shoes. And if you do get bit by one of these vomits, you go see Doc McDonald right away. Y'all stay safe now. That's at the 30-minute mark. Okay, so
Might be a little bit long.
you want to talk about the movie now?
Yeah.
What movie are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk about One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
Came out just last year.
Yeah, about a year ago.
Hot button movie to talk about.
Yeah.
Oscars are coming around the corner, and it is a movie made by my favorite director, Paul Thomas Anderson, who also made the movie we did last time we talked about a movie. So seems fitting for a lot of reasons to talk about it.
There Will Be Blood was that movie, which I give 5 out of 5 stars.
High praise.
One Battle After Another, I'm going to say 4 out of 5.
Okay, let's talk about it.
It wasn't as epic to me as There Will Be Blood.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul Thomas Anderson has quite the resume. Have you seen Boogie Nights?
Oh, yeah.
He did that, right?
Yes. It's a great one.
Magnolia?
Great one.
The Master. You've seen that?
Oh, yeah.
You liked it?
It's not my favorite one, but I liked it. Mostly because Philip Seymour Hoffman is incredible.
Yeah. As always.
Yes.
So 3 of his films have gotten Oscar nods for Best Picture and Best Director, including One Battle After Another.
You mean like 3 of his films have been nominated for both? Is that what you're saying?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
He often collaborates with Daniel Day-Lewis, John C. Reilly, Joaquin Phoenix, and the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman.
And recently, one of the Haim sisters. You heard the band Haim?
Yeah.
One of the sisters, I should know her name. It's kind of disrespectful of me not to know her name, but she has been in like the past 3 movies of his. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
She was the main character in Licorice Pizza, the female lead, and she's also in this movie as a kind of side character.
Okay. So, Paul Thomas Anderson, do you know that he did a music video for Radiohead?
I did not know that.
He did.
Wow.
I don't know which song. Need to dig into
I wonder if it's a newer one or an older one. I imagine it's a newer one. It might be Daydreaming. We'll have to fact check that.
He also directed a 54-minute documentary about the making of Johnny Greenwood's album called Juno.
Hmm.
You familiar with that?
Yeah, and that album is really good. He went to India and worked with some Indian in like a band, an orchestra kind of band, and it's really a little bit of West mixed with the East. It's really cool.
I would call it world music.
Sure.
Does that sound right?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
But there's some, really good album.
So one battle after another was inspired by the novel Vineland
Okay.
by Thomas Pynchon. I've not read it. I think I want to pick it up though.
Yeah.
But I think it's all along the same lines.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of, I don't know how true There Will Be Blood is to that adaptation of the book Oil.
Right.
But I did not know this was inspired by a book. I have to look more into how loosely or tightly it was inspired. Because it is kind of a wild story. A lot of characters involved.
It is a wild story, and it threw me for a loop a little bit, I guess, at first.
Yeah, the first 20 minutes are wild.
So it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn. Holy shit!
If he doesn't win Best Supporting Actor, I'm gonna throw something at something. Because he was awesome.
He was awesome. He was unbelievable. I mean, that character.
He's and Paul Thomas Anderson always has these characters in his movies that are just little freaks. They're just freaky. They're weird, and you cannot take your eyes off of them. Like Tom Cruise in Magnolia.
Yeah.
You remember his character?
I do. Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood isn't freaky, but he's like a little weird.
Scary.
Yeah, scary.
Scary.
And,
As was Sean Penn.
Oh my God.
So widespread acclaim upon release. 4 wins at the Golden Globes, including Best Motion Picture. 13 nominations for this year's Academy. Yeah.
There Will Be Blood didn't win Best Picture. You know who won that year? At first I was mad. I was like, dang, I can't believe it didn't win. And then I looked, and No Country for Old Men. What a year for movies that was.
It's funny you mention that because I remember in a documentary they were filming No Country for Old Men, and not too far away they saw an explosion.
Really?
And it was the filming of There Will Be Blood.
That's crazy.
With the oil well blowing up.
What a year.
So there are 2 references to Steely Dan in this picture. First one's near the beginning of the movie, and they play the song Dirty Work.
Wow.
And the second one's about halfway through, and Leonardo's telling his buddies that a friend of his just went and bought all of the gear out of the old studio that they had used.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Steely Dan's old studio.
Oh, wow. That's
I love that.
Tying it all together.
So I guess this movie starts out, you're introduced to revolutionaries, and they mean business.
Yes.
Guns, pyrotechnics, bombs, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty well organized. I don't really know the correct term. A sort of far left revolutionary group who is anti-government, anti-immigration, pro-immigration. Yeah, and there's kind of 2 spectrums of extremism displayed in the movie. You have this sort of authoritarian government, anti-immigration, and you have this sort of far left radical group. And they're, I was impressed about how they portrayed both sides in a way that's not too much of a caricature. They're both seem both pretty real, but also not. It doesn't seem biased one way or the other.
Right.
They both have flaws. Both groups that are portrayed.
And the name of their group was French 75. It was the name of this revolutionary group. And Leonardo was the primary explosives guy for them.
He had the stuff.
Yeah, he had the stuff. And his girlfriend she's crazy. She was very radical.
Yes.
Perfidia, I think is her name.
I think that's right.
Perfidia, yeah. So the French 75 refers to a classic French cocktail, which is named after the powerful 75 millimeter French field gun used in World War II.
Wow.
I was wondering where that name came from.
French 75. I knew it was a cocktail. I didn't know this cocktail was named after a gun.
So, lead character Leonardo plays Pat. They raid a detention center at the beginning of the movie, and they free the immigrants that are being held there at the detention center. Load them all into a semi truck and take off. Take them back to a sanctuary city, I guess. It's at this point we meet Sean Penn, and I think he's a colonel or a sergeant, or
You'd probably know better than me.
he was a commanding officer.
He's high up. He's real high up.
His name is Lockjaw.
Which is a cool name.
And girlfriend, Perfidia, she sexually humiliates him.
Yes.
She makes him get an erection in front of her, and then she makes him pull his pants down. So Sean Penn loves it. He falls for her.
Which is the beginning of their very disturbing, strange relationship full of power dynamics. And yeah, they're both, it's just, they're both cut from the same cloth of extremism, and they both are, opposite sides of the spectrum, but they kind of go all or nothing. You can kind of see that in their relationship.
Yeah. And it was a brief relationship.
Yeah.
He caught her planting a bomb in a government building up in the ceiling, drop ceiling, and he promised not to turn her in if he met her for sex that night.
Yes.
In a hotel room.
Yeah.
So
I think she killed someone, didn't she? They tried to rob a bank or something, and she shot somebody.
That came a little later.
No, oops,
yeah.
Spoiler.
That's fine. That's fine. But they do end up having sex, and that's key to this film. So maybe the next scene, she's in the bank robbery, and she shoots and kills a security guard, and she gets arrested. And Lockjaw talks to her and says, "I can put you in witness protection, but you got to give me the names of the other people in the French 75. And she does. She rats them out. And then she escapes and goes off to Mexico. Meanwhile, they're killing off all the other members of French 75.
Yeah.
And Pat and Perfidia have a daughter named Willa.
Yeah.
Willa?
Sounds right.
So her escaping to Mexico is kind of the end of the first part of the movie.
Yeah.
Then they jump 16 years into the future.
Yeah.
And Pat and his daughter, Bat, now known as Bob, and his daughter Willa are in a sanctuary city, hiding out. But Lockjaw has been looking for them, and he hires a guy to track them down, and he finds out that they are there in that sanctuary city. And he and his force of men go to get them. They go into the city, and the revolutionaries get warned that they're coming. So Bob's daughter Willa is at prom, and one of the revolutionaries comes and grabs her, takes her away from the prom, puts her in a van, and sends her out to a nunnery, which is a revolutionary nunnery. Meanwhile, Bob's sitting at home, and he sees these black SUVs pull up. And he's freaking out. He's a super paranoid stoner guy.
Yeah, he's pretty much given all normalcy and
Yeah.
has resorted to drugs and alcohol and paranoia to deal with the fallout of the French 75 and everything that's been going on. Another important point is that, half the reason Lockjaw is looking for Willa is because he wants to be part of the Christmas club or party. Or
Christmas Adventurers,
Christmas Adventurers.
which is a white supremacy group of powerful men.
Yes.
And
sort of in the shadows of the government and
yeah,
big companies and things.
well, they invite Lockjaw to become a member. And I mean, one of the questions they asked him directly was, have you ever had sex with a person of a different race?
Hmm.
And he answered no.
He lies.
He lied. Comes back to haunt him.
Yeah.
So the guys are in the sanctuary city, Lockjaw and his guys, and they kick the door down. And Bob has made a run for it. He had a tunnel under his house, and he gets away from it. From that point on, it's basically a chase scene to see who can get to Willa first.
Mm-hmm.
Either Lockjaw or Bob, the father.
Yeah.
Thinks he's the father.
And Logan's down. Logan
you
fell.
need help?
It's true.
Yeah.
You're drinking water, right?
Cue the intermission music.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Nobody saw that, but they did hear it.
Thanks for the
It's the
comment,
bad news.
Relief.
Yeah, I did not fall up a chair.
Okay.
Backwards.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen. But it would be
No.
funny if it did.
It would be.
And that's what's important.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically speaking. So at this point, there's a lot of rats in the operation, mostly her mom. And going back to her mom for a little bit, one of the saddest scenes in the movie to me was when she basically can't be a mom because of this sense of I don't even know how to describe it, but moral superiority of being an extreme revolutionary.
Yeah.
She can't be a casual revolutionary.
She couldn't say no to the hardcore revolutionary
Yeah.
side of it.
She was so committed to the cause.
She leaves the husband and daughter.
Yeah.
And thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah,
I'd
that
forgotten about
was
key point.
says a lot. It tells you a lot about both of them. But when Bob escapes the city, he runs into his fellow sanctuary revolutionary friend. What's his name?
Benicio del Toro? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah. Who plays an awesome character.
Yeah, he does. I can't remember the character's name.
I can't either.
Didn't write it down.
We don't get paid to do this, by the way, so
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
We're amateurs.
Yeah. But his cool and calm and collectedness compared to Bob's utter panic is so funny.
Bob is just so strung out.
Yeah.
And Benicio del Toro's just like, whatever, man, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
In another world, he would make millions of dollars working for Amazon or something as like a operations manager because he is just so good at controlling people and logistics and making an entire sanctuary city work basically.
Yeah.
And he is a man of few words.
Yep.
Um,
He's a really good actor.
yes.
He was in Sicario.
Yep.
You ever see that?
I have not.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, I think is in there.
Josh Brolin, Emily Hunt. So yeah, he's assisting Leonardo to go find his daughter. And Lockjaw's after the daughter because he knows if they find out, well, firstly, is the daughter his? So he does find her and he gives her a DNA test. And she is, in fact, his daughter. Now, the other members of the Christmas Adventurers, they put out a contract.
They find out.
They find out.
They got people in places.
Yeah. So they put out a contract on Bob, on Leonardo. So, I mean, it's all coming to a head, right?
Mhm.
I don't know how much further we want to go with this.
I think that's good. I think you know, give it a watch, see what you think. I think what happens to Sean Penn and his adventures with the Christmas party is beautiful. The way that they did that, and I think that this will be a spoiler. So, but the way that well, I don't know. Should we spoil or not?
A little bit, maybe. I mean, just say what you're thinking.
Okay. In the end, the Christmas party finds out that Willa is Lockjaw's daughter, and because of the way that he lied to the party, puts a hit out on him. And so what they do is pretend like he got hired in a way that no reasonable person would ever believe that they actually got the job. But Lockjaw is not really that smart. He's more
He's too
intense.
self-centered.
Yeah. And they put him in his brand new office with the window view, close the door, turn on the gas, and he dies.
Yeah.
And what I thought was beautiful is the way that they ended up cremating him. The Christmas party does.
Right there in the building, the office building.
And they show his body kind of for a long time dead and limp and lifeless. And it's just that juxtaposition of this person who was high up in power and wanted all these great things. At the end of it is just a bag of fluid, and just to kind of make you sit with that feeling for a while, I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of other really great stuff happens at the end.
Yeah, I will say that DiCaprio finds his daughter.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty happy ending.
Yeah. But there's a lot of killing in this movie. It's not a PG movie.
No.
But the acting is amazing. The one thing I noticed, the whole second half of the movie, where Bob DiCaprio is in his home and he goes through the tunnel, from there on he's wearing a red plaid house coat throughout the whole rest of the movie.
Sort of like the dude or something. He's just like the dude. Just to show how unserious he is. And it's also a funny movie. There's a lot of moments that, whether they say a joke or not, like the situation that happens in the movie makes you laugh at either the absurdity of it or how unprepared Bob is for any of it.
It's like when they were running out of that building, that Benicio, his building, they were running out of it. They were on the rooftop running.
Yeah.
And they all jump across this gap to the other roof next door. And DiCaprio doesn't make it.
And he just falls and breaks his leg.
Falls straight down.
And it's one of those things where in a movie you're expecting him to make the jump.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when he doesn't, you're just sitting there like, oh shit. Is it over?
It was almost like
the movie done?
It was almost like a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Scored by Johnny Greenwood again.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
I noticed a lot of solo piano.
Yep.
Throughout a lot of.
He's been doing a lot of his movies recently. I thought it was a good soundtrack. It wasn't as iconic, I think, as some of his other ones, but it was good.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Okay. It is
4 out of 5 stars.
4. Yeah, what do you give it?
I give it
5 stars are okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's There Will Be Blood.
Yeah. I think 4 stars might be good.
Yeah.
I could be it's kind of soon, so maybe in a year I'll feel different, but I could see it going to 4.5.
Okay.
I'll be interested. Do you think it's going to win Best Picture at the Oscars?
I think it should.
You think it should?
I think it should. And Best Director.
Yeah. Only one I care about is Best Supporting Actor. Sean Penn. 'Cause if that's the only one they get, I'll be okay with that.
Is he nominated? Do you know?
I don't know. He was nominated for the Emmy.
Okay.
He didn't win, but he was nominated.
Okay.
But there's a lot of other really good movies at the Oscars that I haven't seen, so it's hard for me to say which movie should win or not.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be awesome. Add it to his repertoire of Oscar wins.
Yeah.
I think it's probably in my top 5, maybe top 3 of his movies. Definitely top 5.
Okay. Logan, got anything you want to add?
Nope, never seen.
Logan's
Based on
never
our
seen-
description, what do you think about it?
Probably should watch it for myself, but it sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
There's probably more to unpack, actually watching it.
Oh yeah.
Hearing you guys.
I mean, we skimmed the surface.
It's probably difficult to follow what we were saying. It's kind of difficult to follow in the movie. I mean, it's not a linear story. It's a lot of transversing paths coming together.
I agree.
The one thing that makes it not a 5-star for me, I feel like, and again, I might have to sit with it, analyze it a little bit more, but Willa's character was a little bit flat to me.
Yeah.
It just seems like she could have had more character development for how important of a character she was. And she's pretty subdued for being the child of kind of two revolutionary, which maybe is kind of the point, that she's not like them. She's her own person.
But she's willing to be.
Yeah. But her parents are firecrackers, crazy people, and she's just kind of cool, calm, and collected. I don't know. Just something that.
He raised her right.
Yeah.
Now, to me, okay, so Leonardo in this movie, he's a stoner, super paranoid, and he's just manic all the time. And almost to the point where it was distracting to me. That he was over emoting.
Yeah.
This panic that he was always constant.
Yeah.
Panic. But
do you feel like it was the script, or do you feel like it was his acting that made it feel that way?
I don't know.
Yeah. Or,
a little of both, maybe. Okay. This movie is streaming.
Yep.
I rented it to watch it. It is on HBO.
Yeah, it's on HBO Prime. I think they have a deal. They're together or something, but it's on HBO.
Okay. So if you haven't seen it, like what we've said, or if you haven't liked what we said, it's a good movie to watch. It is entertaining. Again, 4 out of 5 stars, but it's hard to compare anything to There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
So,
or even Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights, those are kind of the top 2.
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Boogie Nights, I'll have to talk about that. We'll do that one next season.
Man, that's a good one. It's a blast from the past.
All right. Be right back. Okay. Time for Word of the Week. Word of the Week is aphorism. Aphorism. Yeah. It means a pithy observation that contains a general truth, typically about life or human nature, and it's often inspirational, such as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, better safe than sorry, don't bite the hand that feeds you, don't shit where you eat, shit or get off the pot, fuck around and find out. I guess that's enough examples. So you'll notice I said a pithy observation. So pithy means concise and forcefully expressive. Pith is the essence of something. So we have a pithy pith. Joke of the week. So I told my psychiatrist that sometimes I feel like a yurt and sometimes I feel like a teepee. Well, he said I was too tense. Yeah, sorry. That's a groaner. I know. Okay, I'll give you another one. I told my psychiatrist that I've been hearing voices. He told me that I don't have a psychiatrist. I like that one. Question of the week. Last week, I asked you which organs in the human body are not vital. In other words, which ones can you absolutely live without if you had to? There are 7 of them. The spleen, the stomach, reproductive organs, colon, gallbladder, appendix, and the kidneys. Yeah. Imagine having your stomach removed. Yeah, they take it out and then they just, what's left there, they just sew it all together. That would certainly change your diet, I would think. Okay. New question of the week. Got a little math one for you here. Take the number 500, divide it by 1/2, and add 50. Take the number 500 and divide it by 1/2 and add 50. And I'll give you a clue, it's not 300. We'll discuss that next week. Thought of the week. Illegitimi non carborundum. Illegitimi non carborundum. So that is a mock Latin aphorism, meaning don't let the bastards grind you down. Illegitimi non carborundum. I love that. Threw that word aphorism in there too. I like how this shit just comes together. So don't forget about the BFOD playlists that are hanging around out there. A lot of damn good music on there. Hope you're enjoying it. And as a reminder, you may contact me by clicking on the send me a text button in the episodes or directly by email at bfodpodcast@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Bring it on. By the way, don't forget, because I won't let you, there's also an option for you to support this podcast. So there's a feature that allows you to send me a little spare money each month. Spare money. What would that be? Money that you're just going to throw away? If you're going to do that, just go ahead and send it to me. I'll make good use of it. Maybe get me a gas station hot dog. Well, thank you for listening. That's it for today's episode. And I hope you're entertained. Talk to you next time.